Hey you guys, so I am back from the UK. It was amazing. I had a really good time and I leave for New York tomorrow, but I wanted to quickly put up a video for you guys, so I wanted to show you how to do some really pretty glowy dewy skin with some nice bright orange eyes. Without any further ado, I think we can just jump into it. Okay, so when we're going to be focusing on the skin, the first thing that you want to do is take a warm washcloth, cleanse your face, and just gently exfoliate with your washcloth. You don't want any kind of dry skin or anything like that, you know, picking up on your foundation or when you're highlighting, contouring, and all that. When your skin's still damp, you want to go ahead and apply your moisturizer. Don't look to me for skincare advice. I know nothing about it. Just apply whatever moisturizer works for you and just put on a good amount of that. You want your skin to be moisturized because if it's not, it's going to look really dry when you start applying a lot of face products. So when we're talking about foundations and stuff like that, a lot of people ask me, like, do you prefer cream, liquid, powder, whatever? It really depends. It's up to you entirely what you like to look like, what you like your skin to feel like throughout the day, how long you want it to last, all those kind of things. Personally, I like to look dewy, so I typically go for a cream or a liquid. I very rarely wear powder foundation, but yeah, it's up to you. And a lot of you guys have been asking me how to know what your undertone is or how to match your foundation and stuff like that. The easiest thing to do, there's two things that are really easy to do. You can either go into your local Sephora or MAC or wherever you shop. Holy crap, they don't have Sephora in the UK. I'm trying to get over it still. Anyways, you can go into your local makeup store and get them to color match you. That's their job, that's what they're there to do, so hopefully they will be able to match you correctly, and then it kind of takes the guessing out of it for you. The other thing that you can do if you want to be completely certain that your foundation is going to match is that you can ask for a sample, take it home, wear it for a couple days, see what it looks like outside, inside, how it oxidizes on your skin, and then yeah. And if you don't know what oxidizing foundation is, it's basically when you're wearing a foundation, you'll notice that it kind of tends to look darker after you apply it, or like towards the end of the day and stuff like that. It's just basically the foundation interacting with the air, your skin, oils, stuff like that, and getting darker throughout the day. So if you have a massive problem with oxidization, like if you find that no matter what foundation you use, it always goes darker, you can try and get a sample of a foundation that's a shade or two lighter and see if it makes a difference after you apply it, if it kind of tends to match up a little bit better. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, when it comes to foundations, it's really hard to find one foundation that will absolutely match your skin tone without a doubt kind of thing and have it be the finish that you want and the coverage that you want, all that kind of stuff. I typically almost always mix my foundations. I know that it seems expensive and it is, but if you want the absolute perfect match, that's kind of what you have to do. Now you'll know I have no problem with non-matching foundation. So today I'm going to be using the, oh, I can't open this, the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation stick. This is a little bit darker than my skin tone right now because I got it when I first got to England, and then obviously my tan faded throughout the time that I was there. So I'm just going to apply that right to my skin. This is not hygienic to do it this way. If you are a makeup artist and you're intending to use this on clients, you would have to use a palette knife to, I don't know how I feel about the smell of that. You would have to use a palette knife to scrape it off, put it onto a palette, never apply it directly to the skin if you're wanting to keep it hygienic. And if you tend to have, you know, sensitive skin or anything like that, or you get breakouts easily, I also wouldn't apply it directly to your skin. When I was picking this up, the guy that was selling it to me said that if you want full coverage with this, you can apply it directly to your skin, and if you want a lighter coverage, you can take a brush and apply it onto the brush first and then apply it, and he said that it gives you like a really nice light coverage. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and blend this out. And if you are wanting to go for more of a kind of dewy look, but you have oily skin or you don't want your foundation to come off easily, you can do a powder foundation. You just have to really go into that highlighter. If you want it to be more natural looking and more kind of like fresh and naturally dewy, you will want to go for more of a cream or a liquid foundation. So I'm just applying in downward strokes, and then I'm going to go ahead and kind of buff that in circular motions. If you have really dry skin, which I know a lot of us do because it's the winter right now, you want to avoid doing the circular motions because sometimes that can lift up like dry, dead skin and make it look patchy and more dry basically. So if you do have some dryness and patchiness right now, just blend downwards. You also never want to blend upwards with your foundation because we all have kind of like peach fuzz on our face, and when you blend up, that foundation is just like sup. It sticks right to that hair and it makes those hairs more visible. So yeah, to avoid that, just downward strokes. And then what I like to do is if I find anywhere that is a little bit too heavy, I just kind of take my finger and I just tap it away You can use a beauty blender too if you want, or you can use even another clean foundation brush. So I don't know how well you guys can see, the lighting looks to be a little bit bright, but this foundation is just maybe like half a shade too dark for my skin, and I know that it'll probably oxidize a bit throughout the day. So if you do have that problem, if your foundation's a little bit too dark, you can go ahead and take a lighter concealer, and I just apply the lighter concealer right under my eyes and then along my jawline. If your foundation is too light, you can always go ahead and use bronzer to kind of warm it up a little bit, which is completely normal that your foundation wouldn't match perfectly because our skin tone changes throughout the day. We get tanned, we get pale, and it oxidizes, you know, we're fighting a losing battle. So don't worry, we'll get through it. So basically I'm just taking another foundation brush to just kind of buff that out and get rid of any excess product. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my under eyes. So I'm going to take Bare Minerals Well Rested Face and Eye Brightener first. I haven't used this before, but I feel like, I don't know, why not? Let's try it out. So I'm just going to, weird. I hate applicators like this, but I'm gonna go for it. I'm just gonna apply a little bit under my eyes. See if that makes a bit of a difference because I am so tired. And then I'm just gonna kind of pat that in with my fingers. If nothing else, I think this will make a nice kind of primer for my concealer. This reminds me that a lot of people ask me how I used to do makeup on clients with my nails being this long. Honestly, I would never get my fingers that close to their eyes while they were open when I had nails this long. I would typically just go in with a brush if I had to. And if I was anywhere around their eyes without a brush, I would ask if they were okay with me touching their face, which you should do anyways, whether or not you have long nails or not. I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Laura Mercier High Coverage Concealer for under eye. I haven't used this in a really, really long time, but it's a little bit more peachy, and I do have kind of like some more kind of like blueness today for some reason. So I'm just going to grab a concealer brush with that concealer, and I'm going to just get it packed right into my brush, and then I'm going to apply it under the eyes. As you can see, this is a little bit light, but that's okay. We're going to blend it out. And I'm going to apply it kind of in a triangle shape, but not quite as intense as, you know, you might see sometimes on the interwebs. At this point too, you could go ahead and correct any spots that you might have around your face with either the same concealer or one that's a bit darker. So as you can see, I just applied with a smaller brush that's a little bit more dense, and then I go ahead and blend it out with a larger brush just to kind of cover more space, and because who wants to blend it with a small brush? You can also blend it with your fingers if you want. When I get towards the edges, I drag down a little bit more, and then where I want the most coverage, like right underneath that eye there, that's where I'll go ahead and dab. If you wipe it there, you won't retain that coverage that you want. So yeah. And then I just kind of close my eye a little bit so I can get right into that inner corner. So personally, I wouldn't set anything just yet. I would wait until the very end to set everything. Sometimes I find that if I set my concealer before I go ahead and do my highlight, it'll create kind of like a patchiness or lines or something like that. It's really bizarre. It's not my thing. I'm going to go ahead and quickly put my eye primer on. I'm using MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. Even if you're not intending to wear eye makeup, I'd still put on an eye primer and a base shadow, just because if you are doing a skin focused like look and your skin looks perfect and flawless and glowy and beautiful and you don't have anything at all on your eyelids, it can look a little discolored or unfinished kind of thing. So I am going to do my eyes today, but you know, even if you're not, I would still recommend doing this part. So now what I'm going to do is grab the Anastasia Glow Kit. This is in That Glow, and I'm going to go ahead and be using these 3 shades right here. So the first shade that I'm going to use is Sunburst, the lightest kind of yellowy shade there. And I'm going to grab it on a slightly bigger brush. This is a Samir Kuzami number 10 brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply that right on my cheekbone. So I basically just apply a little amount right to the cheekbone, and then I go ahead and blend it out even more when I have less product on my brush. So you guys can just kind of see like the difference in dimension there, like how much that makes my cheekbone already come out without even contouring or anything like that. And then I basically just bring that up towards my brow bone a little bit. You totally don't have to. It's kind of whatever sort of shape that you like. And then I will usually grab a little bit of that. I'm going to mix the 2 lightest shades on a little tiny blending brush, and I'm going to bring it right down the center of my nose. You totally don't have to do this if you don't like a really intense highlight, but I love how that looks. I think it looks so cute. And then you can also do that on your Cupid's bow. You can really do it anywhere you want if you feel like it. Now I'm going to mix these 2 shades here. I'm just taking these shades because they're a little bit darker. They're not so intense, so it's not going to be like a bright white highlight up your forehead, even though you know that I'm a fan of that. I'm just doing this to appease, you know, the naysayers. And then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to grab those same two colors, mix them. And I mix them, if you're wondering how I mix them, I basically just go dot, 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 dot. And then I'm going to take that right underneath and kind of overlapping with that first highlight that we put on. So we're pretty dewy here, but if you want it to be even more intense, you could go over top with like an eyeshadow or anything that's like super bright, but I'm really liking how this looks right here. You could honestly just stop right here if you wanted to. I am going to go ahead and apply a little bit of bronzer just for some contour. Totally up to you. If you want a more natural look, you could just stop right there, add some blush, it'd be super pretty. I'm just grabbing the Guerlain Terracotta in 4 Seasons 403 Natural Brunette. So I'm just taking that right underneath my cheekbone. And then I just kind of blend it up towards my temple into that hairline. And then I also just take that right along the sides of my temple just to slim my big noggin a bit. And then you can go ahead and add some blush. I'm going to be using Kat Von D's Wish. Where is it? Oh my god! Hold on, please hold. Crisis averted. Close call though. I'm going to be using Kat Von D's Wish, which is discontinued. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of that, basically right between my bronzer and my highlight. So that's basically it. I'll just let you guys get a little kind of close-up of that. So the first color that I'm going to grab is Chickadee from Makeup Geek. And I'm going to grab that on my Zoeva 228 crease brush. And I'm going to go ahead and apply that underneath the eye. Really going to build up that color, so we're just going to keep basically going back and forth with this one to make sure that it's nice and pigmented. And then I'm going to bring it up to my crease and just blend it up. And I'm going to bring it up towards my brow bone in that inner corner a little bit. And I'm just continually picking up more color, blending it out, more color, blending it out. You can create quite a bit of dimension with just even one shadow, like just continually adding on layers and using different density of brushes and stuff like that. So don't discredit a shadow if you feel like it's not pigmented the first time you use it. And then I'm going to switch over to my Kat Von D Mi Vita Loca palette, and I'm going to be grabbing the color Analog right there. Let me know if you guys are getting sick of tutorials with this palette. I just, I don't like to recommend that things that like expensive and then never use them again. Or not even that expensive, but like, you know, something that's kind of, this isn't necessarily the easiest thing to use, I would say. And I'm just grabbing a Smith 220 brush, and I'm just bringing that right underneath the lower lash line. And then up on the outer corner. And then I'm also going to grab that on the same brush that we just used, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that on the outer corner as well. Blend it out. Now I'm going to pick up the color Destroyer right there. Same brush, I'm going to use the Smith 220 brush. And just do the kind of exact same pattern. This is a really easy look. And then I'm going to grab a Sigma E36 brush. I love this brush so much. I think it was in the Alex Factions Faves one, and it's like, it's a fave. And then I'm just basically creating a V with that. I love these colors. They make me happy. And then I'm going to grab the color Slink from Illamasqua. It's just kind of like a champagne-y kind of color. And I'm going to put that right on the lid and the inner corner. A little bit of shine to your day. And then I'm also going to grab this foiled shadow from MAC. It's called Fairyland. It's so pretty. And I'm going to go ahead and wet my brush just with a spritz. I'm going to wet my brush with a spritz of a little bit of Fix Plus. And then I'm really going to work my brush into that product, picking up quite a bit of product. And then, once it's all nice and chunky on my brush, I just basically pat it onto the lid. And then I'm going to grab the Makeup Geek sparkler called Stargazer. If you guys watch my Periscope on these, you'll know that I'm not the biggest fan of them. They're super messy, and they're kind of hard to apply. Wasn't my favorite release from them, but I just wanted a little bit extra sparkle on my inner corner, so I'm going to use this. Because my brush is already a bit wet, this is going to be a little bit easier to apply, and it's going to adhere a little bit better. So I'm just going to literally tap that right into the inner corner. I'm just going to apply this, it's a blemish corrector, but I'm going to use it as a waterline liner, and it's in CP100. It's from the brand My Beauty Mark. I think you can get it online, I'm not sure. And I'm just going to apply that right to my waterline. It's just basically skin color. You can also get these from MAC, I believe they have them. Or maybe just MAC Pro, I can't remember. But anyways, then I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes and apply just a ton of mascara, just like the most. When you think you're done, apply like 15 more coats. Okay, be right back. So this is the final look. So that is everything, you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below and I'll get back to you, and let me know what you'd like to see next.
It'll be about a week.
Okay guys, peace out.